allocate from the total of 1.8 billion just to address water and sanitation projects in the province. This amount was largely used to address sewage spillage, where the overflowing wastewater treatment plants were operating beyond designed capability. At present, work continues at various sites for a total of 8 water treatment works and 12 wastewater treatment works were refurbished for or upgrading is being carried out. Madam Speaker, in the 2018-2019 financial year, the final total mixed spend in the province was at 99%. However, with all COVID-19 challenges encountered by municipalities during this year ahead, all efforts and measures shall be taken in ensuring that make allocation are spent in full toward the basic needs of our people. Recently, the department has intervened in the municipality to improve water quality through the supply of chemicals needed for water treatment works. We'll continue to monitor the implementation of water project interventions throughout the province. We're in the 2019-2020 financial year, Speaker, committed to implementation of water project that includes Mbombela Dam pipeline from Loskop Dam to Tembisile, resuscitating the Mkombo Dam into Petrus Blocker, and the completion of Lusoshwana Regional Bulk Water Scheme in Hertsibani. And Speaker, work on Mbombela Dam has started. We envisage to complete the technical resource reconciliation and comprehensive feasibility study in this financial year. In line with the announcement by the Honorable, the Department of Water and Sanitation was requested to accelerate the implementation of this policy directive. For this reason, work has commenced with the technical integrated resource strategy and the comprehensive feasibility study by national government, which is envisaged to be completed in accordance with the approved national government plan. The construction of bulk pipeline from Loskop Dam to Tembisile is currently at design stage, and construction is planned during the course of the current financial year. A total of 40 million has been set aside through the municipal infrastructure grant for the construction of a pipeline from Mtombo emergency pipeline to the Veltervrede water treatment plant as a mitigating alternative response to the dried out Mkombo Dam. I'm proud, Madam Speaker, to announce that the Lusoshwana Regional Bulk Water Scheme in Hertsibani District was completed in April 2020 and has addressed the water challenges in the area of Oshuk and its surrounding communities. Madam Speaker, electricity illegal connections, the so-called Disney will continue to undermine government efforts to provide electricity to law-abiding citizens. The situation has deteriorated to unprecedented levels, wherein the affected municipalities have exceeded their notified maximum demand limited by ESCOM. ESCOM, Madam Speaker, will know that if it plays a certain number of houses to be given to a certain area, maybe ESCOM knows that they will only give 6,000 households. ESCOM. If it exceeds that limit, the municipality will no longer be able to supply the people that were supplied initially, and those that were connected illegally create problem in terms of revenue enhancement and revenue collection. And we find our municipalities having high debts that are accumulated through this particular process, a matter which we're dealing with it. We've had intervention strategic meetings with municipalities such as Government Mpegi, Msugaleka, and Lekwa, and in May, who are adversely affected by the scourge of illegal connections. Failure to ring-fence funds from electricity distribution, unable to account for distribution losses, and lack of maintenance for their infrastructure maintenance. Key decisions were taken to consistently pay ESCOM current account without fail, including area debts and close monitoring of weekly performance by municipalities in improving in this area of work. This provincial monitoring has already started in the Hertsibani district and shall strictly roll out to the other parts in the province in ensuring that all municipalities struggling with ESCOM accounts are adequately supported. No medicare shall be tolerated as it negatively affects the livelihood of our communities. The district development model. Madam Speaker, our approach to the delivery of basic services will be undertaken differently through the district development model as announced by the President, His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. In responding to the President's current call to strengthen intergovernmental planning across the three spheres of government, realizing the desired impact on service delivered to our communities, we've already started with the mobilization of government departments, state entities, private sector, traditional leaders, and civil society association under the banner of the TDM approach. We have supported our 3 district municipalities in developing their TDM profiles, which provide a description of the current state of development in the province. All service delivery plans and interventions by government institutions and business organizations shall be required to respond to issues identified in these profiles in order to promote coherence during planning, budgeting, implementation, and reporting thereof. It is worth noting that Municipal Infrastructure Support Agent, MISA, has been assigned by Minister Dr. Nkosazana Zuma to support the province and our district municipality in implementation of the TDM. The Provincial Project Management Unit, Madam Speaker, established in partnership with the Development Bank of Southern Africa in 2019-2020 financial year, will be at the center of supporting implementation of the TDM. In 2021 financial year, our municipalities will be supported to develop their district development model plans. Furthermore, the TBSA through the PPME will support municipalities in the following programs. 1, revenue management and enhancement. 2, township establishment. 3, asset care and management. 4, mini-grids electrification by ESCOM. 5, water delivery model section 17 assessment. 6, project preparation. 7, institutional development and advisory support. 8, infrastructure, master plan. Lastly, lending facilities and products. We'll continue to support municipalities to launch applications on this program, Madam Speaker. Unemployment. The issue related to unemployment, poverty, job creation, and new development occupy key areas of our attention on local economic development. As such, municipalities are supported to develop useful LET strategies in partnership with the private sector, community-based organizations, and key government programs. Remarkable successes have already been achieved through the community-based program, where 27,775 jobs has been created. On the youth waste development, 140 people, young people are participating, and the creation of opportunities through implementation of labor-intensive projects. More can still be achieved in partnership with the mining houses for the implementation of the social labor plans, corporate social initiatives, and the implementation of anti-poverty strategy. As I accounted for earlier, Madam Speaker, it is our true belief and position that the impact of this intervention can squarely be realized through robust implementation of the district development model. We'll be keeping a close eye on these progressive interventions. The department, through its engine job creation known as the Commitment Program, created 27,775 work opportunities across the province. As part of our responsibility, we have ensured that LET forums are functional in all local municipalities with challenges recorded in the Msugalikwa Forum. Nkosi City development. Madam Speaker, we are proud to announce that there's a good progress on Nkosi City development. The Department of Human Settlement, City of Mbombela, and Nkosi City Communal Property Association has recently concluded a tripartite agreement to govern the delivery of 3,471 houses for various income groups. Processes of the registration of this land as a state property and the registration thereof as a property belonging to Nkosi City has reached a final stage of being transferred through the Deeds Registry Office. The Development Bank of Southern Africa is on board and currently assessing the funding application for the bulk infrastructure. ESCOM is busy with electricity pipeline project for the area. Madam Speaker, we have also approached the Presidential Infrastructure Coordination Commission to support this flagship project of the province. All the phases of this project are geared towards creating several job opportunities, targeting the locals, with envisaged improvement of the socio-economic condition of the local community. The progress in this regard is in realization of the policy directive of the Honorable Premier on the February 2020 in ensuring that the project takes a positive direction in addressing the plight of many of our marginalized traditional communities that stand to benefit from this project. Just as the Department of Human Settlement has entered the tripartite agreement, more sector departments are envisaged to follow suit in implementing the EXCO resolution of September 2019 to support this project. Good governance and financial management. Madam Speaker, the department appetite for clean audit remains higher. Our posture of maintaining a clean audit is not just a concept, but is gradually developing to a culture. It is not just in words that we treat every day as a clean audit day, but it is also in our actions. It gives me pleasure to report to the House that our aspiration for the 6th clean audit has been realized. This is an outcome of higher level of commitment demonstrated by all officials in the department. The non-achievement of this target by municipalities remains a grave concern for us. It has a potential to erode public confidence in the proper spending of public purse. As we prepare for the start of new financial year for local government next month, this will of the to assist municipalities to improve their audit outcomes. Municipalities must play their part to change the status quo. Section 79 committees, particularly as it relates to the Municipal Accounts Committees, MPACs, must be strengthened to play an effective oversight role in the auditing outcomes. Audit outcomes must be amongst key indicators logged in the performance agreements of accounting officers in accordance to Section 41 of the Municipal Systems Act. Institutional and administrative capability. Madam Speaker, we're entering the final lap of the current local government administration. As we start the last lap, let us all gather all our strength and push hard as we can to make sure we had a good finish. This term seen us record remarkable success in the improvement of the lives of our communities. However, more still needs to be done. In the 2019-2020 financial year, the department conducted investigations in terms of Section 106(106)(1)P of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act of 2000 in Dr. J.S. Moroka, Dr. Pixley Sagrasem, and Coven Mbeki Local Municipality. These investigations have been completed and will be handed over to the respective municipalities for them to implement the recommendations. The department will monitor the implementation thereof. We must indicate, Honorable Speaker, that we have been taken to the public protector by a councillor of EFF from Dr. J.S. Moroka, raising allegations that the department is unwillingly to present this report. We must indicate that this report was appointed for a period of 3 months, but due to COVID-19, there were some delays, and this report will only finish 2 weeks ago. We have since submitted 2 of the report to the Honorable Premier, and next week, Wednesday, all these 3 reports are serving to the Executive Council. Immediately after that, we are going to present them to all municipalities. In preparation of the next local government elections 2021, the Municipal Demarcation Board has already set in motion the consultative processes which should be finalized by the end of June 2020. The next phase will be published, the draft determination, by July 2020 in Provincial Government Gazette for comments to all municipalities within the 14 days of such publication. We therefore encourage all stakeholders to observe and participate in this process. Support for the institution of traditional leadership. Madam Speaker, the advancement of the support for the institution of traditional leadership will always find expression in the department's plan. We'll continue to do so within our limited financial resources. We committed ourselves to acquire a new fleet for Amakosi as tools of trade in this August sitting last year, if you remember very well. The commitment was reiterated by Honorable Premier during the opening of the House. It gives me pleasure, Madam Speaker, to indicate today that this commitment was truly completed. We hope that these vehicles will serve as much in the transport for our distinguished Amakosi in their interaction with their traditional communities and in the fight against the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. As we channel our energies towards the fight to eradicate gender-based violence from our society under the leadership of Amakosi Guard structure, we hope this support mechanism will be will to your shoulder to help us realize this target. We have also made concerted efforts within the limited financial resources to increase administrative grants from 150,000 to 300,000 for the Regional Council to carry their operational costs. We are convinced that this support mechanism, Madam Speaker, will be an impetus to the department's desire to professionalize the institution of traditional leadership and to restore the dignity eroded in the colonialism and apartheid era. We note the intervention of the National Department of Agriculture promoting social security through the agrarian program with financial injection of 45 million to the benefit at least not more than 50 hectares land in each area under leadership of Amakosi. We appreciate the astute stewardship of the chairperson of the National House of Traditional Leaders, Nkosi S.E. Mahla. We are inspired by the wisdom of the Provincial House of Traditional Leaders of taking charge of our destiny in this COVID-19 club. Under the leadership of Nkosi S. Chingomane, the House took drastic steps to cancel all cultural ceremonies and the practice of Ngoma in line with the lockdown protocols. We commend all Amakosi for taking heed of the Clarion Call. You have saved the lives of many young boys against the infections of the deadly virus. History will be kind to you for taking the right decision when you expected to do so. In conclusion, as I conclude, Madam Speaker, let me extend my profound appreciation to the management and the staff led by the acting head of department, Mr. Sam Gopane Mbovu, for his sterling leadership and strong work ethics of the management and staff. Through their sweat, the department has achieved its 6th clean audit. My profound appreciation also goes to the executive of the House under the leadership of Nkosi Chingomane, members of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlement, Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs that plays an oversight role led by Honorable MC Masilela as chairperson. I also want to thank and appreciate the ANC for the opportunity and the Honorable Premier for entrusting us with such a huge responsibility and their support to the work of the department. It is therefore my privilege, Madam Speaker, to table the budget of the department, and I accordingly request the House to approve the amount of 568,337,000 rand for the 2020-2021 financial year allocated as follows. Program 1, Administration, 156,383,000. Program 2, Local Governance, 205,819,000. Program 3, Development and Planning, 53,585,000. Program 4, Traditional Issue Management, 127,665,000. And the last program 5, House of Traditional Leaders, 24,885,000. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC, MJ MCB, for the well-delivered policy and budget speech. The Secretary shall read the 4th order of the day. Secretary.
Order number 4. Consideration of a report
Thank you. I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlement, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Honorable MC Masilela, to table the report. Honorable Masilela.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the Portfolio Committee, I would like to table the report for consideration by the House. Thank you.
Thank you. I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled by Honorable MC Masilela. Agree to?
Agreed.
And so agreed. Thank you very much. The Secretary shall read the 5th order of the day. Secretary.
order number 5.
Thank you. I now call upon the MEC for Community Safety, Security and Liaison, Honorable J.C. Shabalala, to deliver the policy and budget speech. Honorable Shabalala.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. The Honorable Speaker, Ms. Busishiba, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Vusi Mkhatshwa, Honorable Premier, Ms. Refilwe Tsipane, my colleagues in the Executive Council, honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Speedy Mashilo, House of Traditional Leaders led by the Chairperson, Nkosi Sandile Ngumane, Director General of Mpumalanga, Ms. Cindy Kulu, the Head of Department, Ms. Busisiwe Nkuna, and fellow HODs, the South African Police Service Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant Mondli Zuma, Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison, and the South African Police Service Management Team, Chairperson of the CPF Provincial Board, Mr. Kevin Pillay, ladies and gentlemen, Sanbonan. It is indeed a great honor for me to present and table to the Honorable House the policy budget speech for 2020-21 financial year. This presentation takes place amid many challenges that are facing our country. Madam Speaker, the country and the world at large, it is in the midst of coronavirus COVID-19. As part of responding appropriately to the pandemic, the President Cyril Ramaphosa declared a national lockdown 3 months ago. The lockdown became effective as of 27 March 2020. Following the declaration of the lockdown, the department implemented several activities to ensure compliance with the lockdown regulations. We embarked on a number of activities to monitor compliance by the communities. The department continued to work with stakeholders such as South African Police Service, South African National Defence Force, Department of Home Affairs, Department of Health, and Department of Social Development, among others, to monitor compliance with the COVID-19 regulations. During these monitoring activities, I have visited several roadblocks and shopping centers where interacted with the community members, motorists, and owners of businesses. We have seen many people complying with the regulation. However, there were some community members who were not complying with the regulations. The law enforcement agencies ensured that there was compliance. The lockdown, since it has started, over 12,000 people were arrested for offenses ranging from selling alcohol, attempting to move in between the provinces without valid permits. Many buses that were loading more than 70% and transporting of passengers outside the stipulated hours during the alert level 4 and level 5 respectively. Madam Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the law enforcement officers and all the officials who placed their lives online and are still working since the lockdown was declared. We appreciate them, and we are aware that without them, the situation could have been worse. Honorable members, please allow me to also express a sense of gratitude to all the residents of our beautiful province who continue to comply with the regulations. We urge them to continue in the same manner because with their support, the pandemic will be surely defeated. Honorable members, we have seen a surge in a number of gender-based violence cases and femicide in the country, and our province was not spared. The increasing number of violent attacks on women and children need all of us to work together to eradicate the scourge of gender-based violence in our communities. Ending gender-based violence is a responsibility of the whole community, and it is vital that men and boys are active participants and advocates of change. Parents must play their role and teach the boy child that there are no major differences between a male and a female. We will continue to mobilize communities through various education and awareness programs of the department and other stakeholders to be part of the ending gender-based violence. Honorable members, we cannot be silenced because our silence today fuels abuse tomorrow. Punishment, Honorable Speaker, we believe that adequate punishment and meting out of lengthy jail sentence against the perpetrators, as well as increased cooperation among all stakeholders, the scourge of abuse will be defeated. Madam Speaker, We also believe that thorough investigation of these cases, perpetrators will be brought to book. We further welcome the announcement by the State President Cyril Ramaphosa during the State of the Nation address that government will amend the Domestic Violence Act of 1998 as part of better protecting victims in the violent domestic relationships. The Sexual Offences Act will also be amended to broaden the categories of sex offenders whose names must be included in the National Register of Sex Offenders. Honorable Speaker, while we implement various programs and activities across the province to eradicate the scourge of abuse against the vulnerable group, we must also give adequate support to the victims and the survivors. Last year, as part of doing my oversight work, I visited several police stations in Nhlanzeni, Kharsibande, and Gangala region. I have observed that time, Madam Speaker, all the police stations that I visited have victim-friendly facilities. Honorable members, it is critical and crucial that all the victim-friendly facilities at our 90 police stations are functional and are sufficiently equipped to provide victim support and speedy cases management of gender-based violence matters and psychosocial support. This will assist in ensuring that the victim do not become subjectized to a secondary victimization. Another critical element in addressing violence directed at women and children is the increased community participation. Among others, we will continue to plead with communities to refrain from withdrawing cases already at the police stations. Instead, they should work with the police and our court to ensure that evildoers face the full mighty of law. We want to communicate with the communities, particularly those who have been affected, not to enter into any negotiations with the abusers, but to report such individuals to the police station, even if the perpetrators are related to them. Madam Speaker, last year road crashes remained a huge challenge. Many people continue to lose their lives unnecessarily due to bad driver behavior. From the 1st April 2019 and the 31st March 2020, 1,190 people lost their life. While the previous financial year, 2018-2019, about 1,132 fatalities were recorded. However, honorable members, statistics further show a decrease in fatalities, fatal crashes, and serious injuries during the 2020 Easter period. There was a decrease in the same category during the festive season of December 2019 and January 2020. During the Easter period, 7 people were killed as a result of the road crashes as compared to the 31st death last year. The reduction in this year cases is largely attributable to the ongoing lockdown and the fact that there were fewer vehicles on the road, especially during the alert level 5. Honorable members, we will continue to build on these successes even in the financial year that we are busy enrolling. We will continue to implement program on the road safety. We will also ensure that there is compliance with the COVID-19 regulations. Program 1, which is the administration, the budget for the program is 159 million. This budget will, among others, be used to support core programs of the department. We will continue to ensure the strengthening of the compliance with the internal control processes. Honorable members, a task team has been set up to come up with a strategy that will ensure that the department works towards improving audit outcomes. Program 2, Civilians Oversight. The program has been allocated 66 million. The department in 2019-2020 implemented several educational awareness programs which were meant to highlight the scourge of the gender-based violence, tourism safety, school safety, and border security, among others. The department work with the other departments and stakeholders will continue to mobilize for the general empowerment of women as part of addressing gender-based violence cases while working towards the realization of the National Development Plan Vision 2020 to ensure that women can work freely without fear of being victimized. Honorable Speaker, women are being victimized by their loved ones. They are being victimized by our communities. They are being victimized by cultures. We need to ensure that our women are free of all of that. Madam Speaker, for the financial year 2020-2021, the department will implement programs aimed at reducing contact crime effectively, especially vulnerable groups. Community forums and community police forums will be strengthened and supported as these structures are essential towards galvanizing communities' involvement in government programs to prevent crime, Honorable Speaker. As part of strengthening safety in the province, in the current financial year, the department will be employing 425 tourism safety monitors on contract basis. The department will continue to perform its oversight function on the South African Police Service by monitoring 90 police stations in the province. This will be done by monitoring compliance to policies, prescripts, as well as instructions. Problem 3, which is transport regulation. As part of strengthening road safety and law enforcement in the province, Program 3 has been allocated 695 million. Honorable members, last year the President Cyril Ramaphosa promulgated the Adjudication of the Road Transport Offences Act, ARTO of 1998, and the process is now awaiting to be gazetted by the Minister of Transport, Honorable Fikile Mbalula, so that it can be implemented. The Act also aims to decriminalize the traffic offences, and our court will be relieved of traffic-related offences. Madam Speaker, last year we announced the taking over of the licensing at Nkomazi and City of Mbombela local municipalities. We are pleased to announce that we have able to take over such functions at Nkomazi local municipality, and we are at the advanced stage of taking such a function at the City of Mbombela. Honorable members, despite COVID-19 and limited resources, we will continue to implement road safety education and law enforcement programs. Law enforcement visibility will be enhanced through law enforcement operation across the province. Roads that contribute to most number of crashes will continue to be prioritized even in the current financial year. Such roads include N12, N4, N11, R40, R573, and R571, among others. Madam Speaker, the Mpumalanga Training Traffic College The Mpumalanga Traffic Training College has so far produced about 476 traffic officers who completed the 12-month training program since the inception of the training. The trainees at Mpumalanga Traffic Training College over the years come from various local municipalities across the province, while others come from other provinces like your Northwest, KwaZulu-Natal, and Eastern Cape provinces. Honorable members, the college has further trained delegates from various institutions on programs such as examiner of vehicles, examiner of driving licenses, and the firearm control in line with the Firearm Control Act. Madam Speaker, the time the lockdown was declared, the college had 97 students enrolled. All the learners' activities at the college were suspended in line with the lockdown. The college has also been identified as one of the quarantine sites for COVID-19. In Program 4, which is Security Management, the program was allocated for the current financial year 592 million. The security management will ensure full compliance with the service level agreement by the security service providers. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I once more thank the Honorable Premier, Ms. Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, for the outstanding leadership and commitment for serving the people of Mpumalanga province and her continued guidance. I am also grateful and appreciate the support that we receive continuously from the African National Congress under the leadership of Comrade Mandla Ndlovu, the acting provincial chair. The support that is provided by my colleagues in the Executive Council, I am grateful, Honorable Speaker. I want to also thank all honorable members of the provincial legislature, particularly the Portfolio Committee and its chairperson, Honorable C.D. Mashilo, for the ensuring that the department continues to account to the people of Mpumalanga through the legislature. Honorable members, let me pass my gratitude to the collective effort by the department led by the HOD, Ms. Busisiwe Nkuna, and the entire management staff. I also want to thank the work done by the Lieutenant General Mondli Zuma and the provincial collective management of SAPS. Honorable Speaker, lastly, let me thank my family for the support that I continue to receive and that God has provided me with such a family. I'm really grateful, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, allow me therefore to present and table to this House the 2020-2021 budget for the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison, vote number 9 as follows. Program 1, Administration, it's 159,472,000. Program 2, Civilian Oversight, 66,023,000. Program 3, Transport Regulation, 695,612,000. Program 4, Security Management, 592,950,000. The total budget allocation for the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison, it's 1,514,057,000 rand. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC GC Shabalala, for the well-delivered policy and budget speech. The Secretary shall read the 6th order of the day. Secretary. Honorable Shabalala, please mute. Thank you. Secretary. Thank you, Secretary. I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Community Safety, Security and Liaison, Honorable S.K. Mashilo, to table the report. Honorable Mashilo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. May I audible, Speaker?
Yes, you are, Honorable Mashilo.
My greetings to yourself and all the honorable members. On behalf of the Portfolio Committee of Safety, I therefore moved the budget as presented by the Honorable MEC Shabalala of 1.5 billion to be considered by this Honorable House. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mashilo. I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled by Honorable S.K. Mashilo. Agreed to,
Agreed.
and so agreed. Thank you very much.
Agreed.
Thank you very much. The Secretary shall read the seventh order of the day. Secretary. Thank you. Honorable Mahlangu, you are not audible. Unmute Honorable Mahlangu.
Speaker, we don't hear any voice.
Yes, they are attending to that matter. Support staff, will you please assist?
Yes, Speaker.
Support staff, will you please assist? Honorable members, if we can just persevere just for some minutes, we're checking because she's at the office. What the challenge is, it may be a network, but they are assisting. Thank you very much.
Akusalungi speak.
Honorable Tarete, they are assisting Honorable Mahlangu. She is in her office.
Oh, bengicabanga ukuthi break.
No, we're still waiting. Maybe it's a network problem. That is why we are waiting. The support staff is busy with that.
Okay, Speaker.
Thank you.
network problem. Phendula, ungayiceli ifonela Justice.
Honorable members, let us adjourn just for 5 minutes. Then we will resume after that.
Okay, Speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you.
OIR, honorable members.
Injalo, Speaker.
Sisalungisa. You mustn't log off, please.
Rejoin.
No, don't log off.
Oh, okay.
No, don't do that because the system will also be disturbed.
Oh.
Yes. Ningaphumi,
Siyabonga.
please. Thank you very much.
There we go, Speaker.
awuhambile na.
Iphela wesoso kwe-plastic.
Uspika ohambile naye.
Side plate plastic. Sorry.
Ngona Honorable Mashilo.
Honorable Mashilo. Mashilo.
Mose, sanibonani. Sawubona baba Shongwe.
Shongwe.
Yebo baba.
Njani Shongwe?
Yep.
Uphi Mashilo lapho Speed. Sasi.
Uthini babe Vusimusi?
Government business.
Babe Vusimusi uthini?
Ngabombiza indoda yakho ngeligama wena.
Ngithi babe.
Hayi manje ufaka uVusimusi bani?
Ngithe babe Vusimusi.
Ngohlonipha ngithi lesakwenza umfazi yo.
Shongwe.
Yeah. Upusasi.
Yimlo ngendvele, yimlo.
Le sound kanzi ku.
Okay.
Yangiva treasure.
Ngiyakubona sasi, ngiyajabula nawukhona.
Khona la nkathila.
This is not a cabinet meeting, leader of government business.
Mavusani.
A cabinet meeting.
Lapho uvela njengelikhila lenhle lemhlophe.
Yambona gogo ushaya kofi lapho.
Gogo.
I-break gogo.
Ushaya kofi.
Hayi, the house has not been adjourned, gogo. We are still on session.
Ngiyambona phela ukuthi ukabhile lesigqoko usibekele eceleni. Safuna simbizele etafuleni kasho.
Ngikuhloniphe kangaka Shongwe.
Ngiyabona mngamo shasigqoko wasitshekisa lapha.
Shongwe. Angifuni ukukuhlambalata Shongwe.
Ngiyabonga Shongwe usimele kahle. Nange sesiwami lapho ufaka ibhuko. Ufaka amaferkiki se.
Le mali wayifaka nyalo ngule salary yasimanje.
Ferkiki usabona. Uhlala.
Uyambona nabhuti wakho Mose. Shongwe.
Yes Shongwe.
Uyambona msinabhuti wakho lapho.
Ngiyambona. Ngiyambona nange sithombeni. Ngiyambona ngiyajabula Shongwe. Ngiyajabula Shongwe ukuthi hayi usipreservile. Anga phela sesiwami nathabethu ufake amaferkiki.
Angisabone emehlweni ade Shongwe.
Yeah, Shongwe ungabithi MEC uthi mkami mapho. Lapho kuseparlament phela lapho.
Hey, unjani babe emhlonishwa Speed iMashilo.
Yaphela mhlonishwa Shongwe ngithi uMEC ungathi mkami lapho kuseparlament phela yalo. Uthi MEC.
Hayi wena
Sise breaking.
Umkami.
Mose Mashilo sise breaking.
Yeah, break
Honorable Mashilo.
Yes, but
ufuna lapha ehlahleni sihlalo.
Hey. Mashilo. Ehlahleni zakho. Kodwa ngeke ehlahleni Mashilo.
Useplazini.
Ngakani ubone njalo. Ngithi ngishayelanga lapho kuyabanza endlini wathi ngiphumele ngaphandle manje Speed.
Yasolo ufuna network sihlalo.
Yeah, put it network. Put network.
Yeah.
Nora. MEC Mahlangu ulahlekele network.
Uyayibona.
Yeah.
MEC Nora.
What a sabotage.
Yeah, ulahlekele network makaphume lapha ofisini.
Yeah, ulahlekele network ulahlekele ngaphandle mhlahleni.
Ngibomtshela umhlonipha Nora Mahlangu angabobopha kakhulu nakazokhuluma.
Honorable members. Honorable members.
Yes.
Yes, we are ready now. Let us resume the House. Honorable Mahlangu, over to you. Thank you.
I'm Kululenu Kona Lombophile, man.
Bophele.
Kulule shongo likhamba nawe leligama lekubopha.
Akadala umhlonishwa. Akadala ubopha netechnology imensi.
Ngiyamsukela. Ngiyamdefend ukhona lo mbophile.
Yeah.
Gogo, makeshong.
Yebo, Tanzania sasekhaya.
Unjani ndaba?
Ngiyaphila mhlonishwa.
Ngiyambona ubaba wami lapha emuva, mara kaveli kahle umsithenga enhlombe.
La.
Khona lapha endlini.
Uyambo?
Yeah.
Ubuke lapha eminyango lo ngena ukuthi kungena abani.
Yeah, ugadile. Isincanazana sakhe lapha eceleni.
Kakhulu.
Yeah, usendlini.
Fana nami ethu.
Nifana kakhulu ngalamafindo nanga.
Mnakethu.
Yeah,
ngiyafana nangamafindo nanga.
Ya azidlali phela. Sidlala simadoda thina. Asibi bantu laba soft.
Yeah, nibasebukhosini.
Basebukhosini thina sinelive. Alifani nabo speed laba abahambe bemeyihlahleni zabantu.
Yeah.
Siyabonga Prince Smooth.
Yabonga mngami.
Awusing Prince Smooth wena.
Kahle wena. Kahle wena Sirelki
Smooth.
Ube
King Smooth.
Lokho sihlalo lokho sabo Johan Mkhatho nabovusa Mkhatho akusibongo isibiyalo
Bashulwa ifishi into lemashokuthi ibathatha
Yebo.
Yebo gogo.
Phela uchazele lead of government business ukuthi manje nje ngenxa yethu gogo.
Awu Nkosi yami abathi phela gogo. Abathi ukuthi
Deputy Speaker.
Yebo sethi.
Ifishi iphuthu yodwa iyanhlula. Ngasikhona njani ngethini isibantu labangaka?
Bahlulwa ifinye nje. Ifishi nje babaleka bayibhule.
Angathi shongwe nawe
Order, honorable members. Order, please. Order, honorable members. Yes. Honorable Mahlangu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me start by apologizing for delaying the House. It was not intentional. Honorable Speaker and Deputy Speaker, Honorable Premier Ms. Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, Honorable members of the Executive Council, Honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, Portfolio Committee Chairperson Umama Masilela, Chief Whip of the ANC, Honorable F.V. Mlombo, Chairperson of the Provincial House of Traditional Leaders, Business and Public Sector Representatives, Director General Ms. S.P. Kulu, heads of departments, senior management, all guests through this visual platform, citizens of Mpumalanga, good day. Madam Speaker, it is with great privilege that I am here today amidst the period of the deadly and chaotic pandemic, the novel coronavirus that has since reigned terror in our lives for the past few months, causing panic and devastation to the lives of our fellow citizens. It is indeed in this time like this where we need each other the most to stand united to fight this invisible enemy. One of the changes which came as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic is this unprecedented visual sitting of the House as we table our policy and budget vote speeches. Whilst the entire globe and developed countries are battling to contain the spread of this faceless enemy, the World Health Organization, world governments, and the entire health fraternity at large are racing towards the development of a vaccine. As the entire globe waits in anxiety for a much-needed cure, we ought not to despair, rather adhere to sound hygiene measures, such as frequently washing our hands, observe physical distance, and wearing face masks. Madam Speaker, having been conferred with the responsibility to serve in the Executive Council and lead the Human Settlements portfolio, I therefore cannot underscore such a colossal responsibility. This budget vote presentation is aimed at outlining plans and strategies to improve the lives of ordinary citizens of the province and thus making the realization of adequate integrated human settlements possible. Madam Speaker, we are delivering this year's budget vote in June, a month in which we commemorate the spirited fight by the youth of 1976 as they challenged the then system. Much as we speak here today celebrating their gallant efforts, it is worth noting that the youth of today still face huge social challenges of substance abuse, unemployment, teenage pregnancy, and school dropout, amongst others. It is no doubt that the entire globe and South Africa, as part of the global village, will require extended period to come out of the socio-economic challenges being enforced by COVID-19. Taking a signal from His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa that it is our strategic objective to eliminate poverty and reduce inequality by 2030. As we make this presentation, we commit to continue to unshackle the relentless and grim inheritance of our past, either from the mistakes that we have made and bring progressive strides to shape positive lives of the people. This is a very good reason for us as leaders in development. We ought to focus on bringing about that change in society. Much as there are mixed opinions and different school of thoughts surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic, as this government and certainly the province will not enter into the debate, but focus on issues at hand, which is developing and improving the lives of communities. The South African economy is set to plunge into a severe recession this year owing to several factors, both foreign direct investment and household consumption are projected to be hard hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, amid rising unemployment and evaporating business confidence. Meanwhile, concerns over debt sustainability due to the ballooning fiscal deficit may prompt the country to seek external budget relief to prevent a liquidity crisis. The country's economic performance has by implication a bearing on the performance of the construction sector. This bringing along significant progress towards improving existing settlements, offering the majority of South Africans access to adequate housing, affordable services in better living environments within a more equitable and functional residential property market. Responding to fears that the construction industry is in its death throes emanating from the delisting of one of the major players from the JSE amidst declining infrastructure investment, one major construction practitioner says, I quote, South Africa's construction inhabited the third new urban agenda, which emphasized the importance of integrated and sustainable human settlements approach to development. All delegates, including South Africa, who gathered at the recent World Urban Forum in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, recognized that an increasingly unurbanized world constitutes a transformative force can be harnessed and steered for more sustainable development. Cities have the opportunity to take the lead to plan and design as well as manage transitions towards inclusion, resilience, sustainability, economic growth, and shared prosperity. Distinguished guests, it must be said that there were good stories that came out of Team South Africa, as led by Human Settlements Deputy Minister, Ms. Pam Tshwete. At the same time, cities ought to address a myriad of global challenges, including poverty, gender inequality, human rights violations, unemployment, health emergencies, loss of social cohesion, threats to cultural heritage and cultural diversity, environmental degradation, migration, disaster risk, and climate change. Allow me to reflect on our performance during 2019-2020 financial year, which marked the first year of the country's sixth administration, 2019 to 2024, a period which promises new optimism and dawn. From the onset, the department positioned itself as a developmental leader by spelling out clear outputs in an expedition to satiate its mandate. At the end of the previous financial year, the department successfully delivered 6,710 against a target of 6,694 housing units, which included 3,303 informal settlements upgrading, 867 rural subsidy, communal land rights program, 633 integrated residential development program, and serviced 3,902 sites in various municipalities. There was also the delivery of only 3,628 title deeds. Another pleasing feat was the resolution of 634 rental disputes in the province, in reducing the three social ills of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. The department realized nearly 11,000 housing opportunities and created over 1,000 employment opportunities through the various programs and projects which were rolled out. The following were recorded challenges that had a bearing and influence on the performance of the 2019-2020 financial year, which is aging and inadequate bulk infrastructure and services in some municipality, inept beneficiary management at local levels, political foul play that instigated residents to default on rentals at our social housing project at Uchingo Park, Emalahleni, illegal occupation of houses in some parts of the province, unavailability of service site in some municipalities, and slow performance and delivery by some contractors citing remoteness and difficult of project site. Madam Speaker, it was not all dark and gloom, though, as they were positioned during the year. This included, amongst others, a successful consultation on housing consumer protection bill, restoration of over 2,407 storm ravaged housing in Ganyamazana and surrounding, provision of water tanks in Bushbuckridge and the city of Mbombela, and forging good relations with municipalities on planning, in particular around the decision to establish a number of priority human settlements and housing development areas under the city of Mbombela, Nkomazi, Thabachweu, Steve Tshwete, Emalahleni, Govan Mpegi, Dr. J.S. Moroka, Bushbuckridge, and Tembisile Hani local municipality. During the financial year 2020-2021, the department has set aside an amount of 121 million as a portion of the Human Settlements Development Grant for the realization of the mining towns, which is the Emalahleni, Steve Tshwete, and Thabachweu local municipality. Priority shall be given to the provision and upgrading of the ailing bulk infrastructure in these areas to support future housing development. The department has also ring-fenced an amount of 162 million for the upgrading of informal settlements across the province. We are pleased to inform the people of the province who reside in these informal settlements that work is currently being done in order to improve their lives. In a practical intergovernmental approach, the department has assisted municipalities to develop informal settlements upgrading plans, which informed the Human Settlements Development Grant Business Plan. The approach has brought synergy between the department and all municipalities, not only regarding informal settlements, but as well as the finalization of the priority housing development areas. With the same spirit of determination, the department has planned to complete 4,245 low-cost houses in the 2020-2021 financial year. Furthermore, the department has a delivery target of 6,000 service sites and aims to complete 6 bulk infrastructure projects in the various municipalities during 2020-2021. As observed, the budget allocation has been on a downward spiral in the last 2 years, resulting in a reduction of what can be done or achieved. Nevertheless, the department still strives to ensure service delivery through the improvement and enhancement of efficiencies and effectiveness in housing delivery. As the delivery machine continues to grind, a total of 2,058 service sites under the upgrading of informal settlements program and 3,726 service sites under the integrated residential development program will be realized. Furthermore, 100 housing units through the finance-linked individual subsidy program, 2,654 housing units under the Integrated Residential Development Phase 2, 877 housing units under the People's Housing Program, 30 housing units for military veterans, and 634 housing units under the Rural Housing Program units will be delivered. In bringing about the much needed social cohesion and integration, the department will continue to implement a total number of 6 community residential units projects in Mzinoni, Reabota, Umjindi, Soneville, Malelane Extension 21, Sabi, and 3 social and economic facilities will be rolled out to augment municipal capacity for delivery of bulk water and sewer infrastructure project. The following bulk infrastructure program will be delivered in Komati Port Extension 18, Kutuma, Rolling Stone, Amsterdam Mkondo, Vuguzake Bie, Dr. Pixley Isaka Seme, Paula and Iraq Emalahleni, KwaZamokuhle Extension 9, Steve Tshwete, and Rondebosch, Steve Tshwete. Keeping in check with long-term planning, the following integrated human settlements project will be undertaken in the 2020-2021 financial year. Jindi, Extension 17, Tabachwewu, Sabi, and Nkomazi Adam Jejane, and the Special Economic Zone, Mashishini Extension 6 and 8. Further, Bushbuck Ridge, Mbombela, it will be Nkosi City, and Smart City in Matsafeni, Dingwell, Langverbach, Kempville, Townlands, Piet Retief, KwaZamokuhle, Steve Tshwete, Newport, Rondebosch, Paula at Emalahleni. Madam Speaker, it must be noted that the unavailability of adequate bulk infrastructure for the new site developments in some municipality continues to hamper the program. The department will, however, continue to work closely with local municipalities, Department of COGTA, and the Department of Water and Sanitation to address bulk infrastructure challenges through the various grants available at municipalities. In response to the pandemic, the department has reopened construction site for contractors to resume work in various parts of the province. This move is in line with the easing of level 3 lockdown regulation and gives details of focus, priority areas and safety measures that ought to be adhered to in order to prevent and mitigate the transfer of the novel coronavirus on site. The focus will be on assisting municipality with mass sanitation and disinfection of high-risk areas in informal settlements to enable social distancing and self-isolation, thereby reducing the possibility of community spread. The department also prioritized sewer spillage intervention in affected areas whilst promoting hygiene conditions through the provision of bulk water and sanitation. All contractors are required to appoint safety officer to ensure strict adherence to health and safety protocol, which include, amongst others, keeping safe and hygiene workspace, provision of sufficient quantities of hand sanitizers or washing soap and clean water. They are also required to conduct daily screening at workplace, and provide personal protective equipment. This, at least, is going to be the new normal henceforth. Madam Speaker, it is an open secret that the weak global economy, social ills, and now the impacts of COVID-19 has has by consequence affected our economy, thus taking a knock. The Minister of Finance announced the funding resources of the economic measures for COVID-19 of 500 billion. One of these funding resources is baseline reprioritization of the 2020-2021 budget, which amount to 130 billion. This will necessitate that the current year's equitable share budget for the department be reduced with an indicative figure of 31.2 million in order to contribute to the economic measures that are meant to boost the economy during the period of lockdown. Proposed budget cuts on equitable share budget will have negative impact on the normal operations of the department. The department delivered 10,612 housing opportunity during the financial year 2019-2020 through spending of 1.895 billion of the adjusted budget of 1.957 billion. Honorable members, as I stated before that the total budget allocation for 2020-2021 has shown a decrease of 21% when compared to the adjusted budget of the previous financial year from 1,957 to 1.552 billion. Madam Speaker, the cuts and reprioritization will require a complete change of mindset and approach towards our business as we all have to align to the new normal. During the course of the 2020-2021 financial year, the department plans to deliver a total of 4,481 housing units, including community residential units, FLISP, military veterans, PHP emergency housing, and rural housing. Service 5,784 sites, which will yield 10,000 housing opportunities. Furthermore, we will fast-track the finalization of township establishment processes, which will enable the registration of title deeds to bestow property ownership and security of tenure to our residents. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, and distinguished guests, allow me to present the budget proposal of 1,552 for the Department of Human Settlements Vote 13 for consideration by this August House as outlined. Program 1, Administration, we allocated an amount of 161 million, Housing Needs, Research and Planning, 193 million, Housing Development and Implementation, 1,138, Housing Assets Management, it's 60 million, which gives us 1,552. As I conclude, may I make a call to all stakeholders that as the country continues to push for the provision of sustainable housing to qualify and needy beneficiaries, the realization of such a right of every citizen to a home involves far more than just a delivery for a government subsidized house, but more from a role player. My gratitude goes to the ANC for affording me an opportunity to lead this portfolio, my family for being my pillar, and the leadership of the Premier Ms. Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, colleagues at the Executive Council, and my office. Let me also appreciate the guidance and oversight role by the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, led by Mama Nkosazana Masilela Siyabonga Mama. Lastly, my gratitude goes to the accounting officer, Babu Kibon Masange, his management team, and all the employees for their sterling resolve to pledge the delivery of housing to our citizens. Madam Speaker, may I therefore request this August House to approve the budget proposal of 1,552 for the Mpumalanga Department of Human Settlements, Vote 13 for the 2020-2021 financial year. In presenting this budget proposal, let us not despair and lose sight of the responsibility at hand, that is creating sustainable integrated human settlements for communities. Once again, for us to defeat the spread of COVID-19, we must sanitize, adhere to social distance, and wash our hands regularly. Together, we can defeat this new human enemy. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable MEC Mahlangu, for the well-delivered policy and budget speech. Besides the hiccups that you have, well done. Thank you very much. The Secretary shall read the 8th order of the day. Secretary.
Manbongwe.
Board of the Portfolio Committee.
Manbongwe.
Cooperative Club and Traditional Affairs on Board 30.
Thank you, Secretary. I now call upon the person of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlement, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Honorable MC Masilela, to table the report. Honorable Masilela.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the Portfolio Committee, I would like the August House to approve the budget as tabled. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled by Honorable MC Masilela. Agree to?
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed. And so agreed. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of the morning session. The proceedings of the House are suspended until this afternoon at 14:15. Thank you very much, honorable members.
Long live Speaker. Thank you.
Long live Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.